Hey, what's going on, guys? DroidsX3 here, and in this video it's charge blade builds. And of course, I've always liked the charge blade. You got a shield, it hits hard, and you got guard points, and it's like a skill to actually use this build, you know. So anyway, without further ado, let's start with the build. We're gonna start off with like a fire resist build, if I may. I mean, it's basically just like a all-around build. And the Luna Eostra, I hope I'm saying that right, is basically one of the best charge blade builds in the trees so far, aside from the Safi. There's other Safi builds um, that I'm gonna include though, but other than the Safi charge blades, we're just gonna start with the trees. So the Gold Rathian charge blade is pretty much good. Its natural affinity is 20%, very high poison element, and its base attack is pretty good. So the charm I have for it is earplugs. Now earplugs, I have never used earplugs in World, but then when Iceborne came out, there were so many roars I got annoyed. So like, you know what, screw this. Earplugs is the way to freaking go. Alright, it's so useful, and whenever you're trying to do that SAED and you get interrupted just by a freaking roar, it gets pretty annoying. So yeah, and we have the Zora artillery essence, which will increase the artillery skill up to 5, from 3 to 5. So I have Zora headgear, Gamma, Zora hide alpha, Damascus Vambrace beta, Empress Coil beta, and the Zora Spores beta. For the skills, of course, is the Zora essence, earplugs, artillery 5, health boost 3, handicraft 3, eBay window 3, offensive guard. Now, offensive guard is new in Iceborne, and it's pretty optional, but it's the way this build is, it goes well, you know, because then the evade window comes from the 4-slot jewel, which is the guardian jewel and the evade window. So you have 3 of those over here, and it gives you like good practice for like iron framing stuff. So basically, if you want, you can start off with 5 to practice it, and then work your way down to 3, and you should be good. Tremor resistance, which comes with the chest piece. Focus 2. The focus, I would really recommend from like 2 or 3. A minimum is like 2 for level 1. Focus, it won't make that much of a difference, but then when you go to level 2 and 3, that's when it'll be very beneficial. And a fire resistance, just to pretty much kick it up to over 20 for the fire resistance, so you don't get fire blighted. Capacity boost, just to increase 1 more file. Flinch free, which comes with the headpiece. Yeah, it's pretty useful. Whenever the monster goes down and everyone just like scammers into the head, you know, basically that's what everyone does. I mean, I'm guilty for that too. So just to prevent yourself from tripping, this level 1 flinch free will help. And also guard up. This will allow you to guard things that is usually unblockable. For example, Eostra's Nova. You can block that. You can guard point that bitch. And also Velkhana's sweeping ice breath. If you don't have this and you try to block, you will not block it. But with guard up, you can block it. So a little bit of insurance there. And then guard. This is the Iron War Jewel. So you can actually put it somewhere here. If you don't want a fire resistance build, you can pretty much replace fire resistance with Iron Wall. So yeah, but I just have it there just for the hell of it. So yeah, and this is the jewel setup. Of course, it's yeah, it's basically where everything is. So yeah. Next we have the Safi's Venomshield, and this one it has a little bit of purple sharpness though. You can increase that using the handicraft though, but the way this build set up, it doesn't have handicraft, but it's good enough. It has a focus charm 3, which gives you max out focus. Zoro Headgear Beta, Zoro Hide Alpha, Shara Espalda Beta, Zoro Spine Alpha, Shara Espalda Greaves Beta. For the skills, we have, of course, the Zoro Magdaros Essence, increasing its artillery to 5. Gemma Resistance just comes naturally from the chest piece and the waist. Health Boost 3, definite. I mean, we're not all speedrunners, right? So, Health Boost 3 is like the best must-have defensive skill. Crit Boost 3, Weakness Exploit 3, Focus 3, Part Breaker 3. And now, Part Breaker, it's been very useful in Iceborne. It's for when before Iceborne and World, not many people ever use Part Breaker, including me. But since Iceborne, this has been a very useful skill only because of that weakness exploit change to where you don't have that 50% boost anymore. You actually have to damage the parts of a monster in order to get that 50%. If not, then you only have 30%. So that's that. I mean, it's not difficult. It's pretty easy, and also easier to, like, cut off parts and break parts if you need a certain item from a part. So yeah, Tool Specialist 3. Again, this is useful because since in Master Rank you will get hit a lot, and having those tools is helpful, especially if you have like a evade window, health booster, of course the almighty temporal. Even when it's when it's been nerfed, it's still very useful to have the temporal, of course. Defense boost just comes with the shot as well, the legs. Capacity boost to increase your files. Fence free again, just so you prevent yourself from getting knocked back and getting annoyed by whenever you're playing in a team. And Mind's Eye Ballistic. Oh my god, Mind's Eye Ballistics. Alright, I did not get this Chew in World, but I only got it at 1300 hours. This freaking jewel right here. So yeah, if you don't have it, then you don't just keep on playing the game. You'll get it eventually. So yeah, recovery up, just there really. I mean, the slots and the mantles is very optional. You can just put it whatever you want. So yeah, and here is the the jewel setup. And yeah, awakening abilities. Yeah, you see those 2 sharpness 5s right there. I mean, it's really up to you. I would prefer. I'm about to change this to one of those sharpness to attack. So yeah, basically all you need is just like 1 sharpness anyway. So yeah, whether or not if you put sharpness 5 or 6, then you're fine. Really, that 6 really doesn't make that much of a difference anyway. So yeah, I mean, for me personally, it's either one will do, whether it's attack 6 or sharpness 6. This build will work out fine. So yeah. Oh, and also one more thing. If you notice this build right here, it has that weakness exploit as compared to the previous build with the Luna Eostra. It did not have weakness exploit or critical boost, only because the playstyle for the Charge Blade is to spam those SAEDs. So that's it. The weakness exploit and crit boost will not really affect the SAED anyway. So yeah, again, the crit boost and weakness exploit is it matters when you hit it with your sword or your axe. So it'll give you, like, a little bit of boost in that in the attack. So yeah, so there's this Drakshield from Safi, and this is a pretty good weapon. I mean, it's most of the monsters are kind of like moderately weak against dragon anyway. It's like one of those go-to elements, but yeah, it has a pretty good base element. I augmented it at 540, but with the skill it'll go up to 540. But anyway, it has the razor sharp charm just so I can keep that white sharpness longer. And of course, you can always change his charms anyway to however you want. I mean, if you want handicraft or whatnot, whatever. Just remember, all these builds are interchangeable to your playstyle. So I'm just sharing you these builds just to for a new player, just to have some kind of rough idea, or for you veteran players just to try it out. And we have the Rimguard Helm Beta, Damascus Mail Beta, Stygian Vibrations Alpha, Rimguard Coil Beta, and the Safi Crested Boots Beta. Skills we have is Volcano Divinity, which is a critical element, which was very good in Cult of Taroth and World before Iceborne. So, yeah. And also, there's also the Rathalos True Critical Element. However, I just like this because you need 4 of those bastards to actually 4 armor pieces to actually get it. And of course, you can always awaken it with Silver Rathalos, but whatever. It's too much materials to actually do it anyway. So yeah. Anyway, and one more thing, critical element. The element will not proc if you do not have critical element. I mean, it will, but the I'm talking about the element itself. Whenever you hit a monster with the element, the SAED, using the power element file, it will not actually activate the crit boost or weakness exploit thing. It's not gonna affect the element. It'll just be based on your base attack. So that's one thing I found out whenever I was reading through Monster Hunter World. So yeah. So this has critical eye, health boost 3, dragon 3 from the Stygian arm piece, weakness exploit 3, focus 3, part breaker 3, divine blessing 2, crit boost 2, crit boost 1, and again, crit boost 1 is good enough, really. I mean, like what is that, like 3? It's 40% though. However, I mean, there's the other builds that I did make it a 3. It just looks better, but I mean, in all honesty, crit boost 1 is still pretty good. Of course, capacity boost, flinch free, mind's eye ballistics, and the razor sharp, and then again the slots for the mantle is totally optional. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys like those builds. Again, those builds are interchangeable to your base style. Again, thank you for watching, and leave a like, comment, and then if you got anything else to say about it, then yeah. Until next time, see ya.